All right, good evening everyone. We're going to be working on writing a proof using one of the methods, the side, the side, angle, or angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. So here we have a proof that started. We have the given where we're given the AD is parallel to EC and that BD is congruent to BC, and we want to prove that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle EBC. So we're going to still continue using the two column methods that we're used to. So I'm going to start out with the statement in one side, and then I'm going to put the reasons on the other side. Thus the two columns. So with any proof, we always start out with the given. So we're given our first step is AD is parallel to EC, and over here in the reasons is because it is given. Okay, and then we're also given that BD is parallel, or is congruent to BC, excuse me. So that's also given. Okay, you should be able to do that any step, and if that's the only step that you can do, that's fine. We're going to practice on it a little bit more in class. But now, that's all we're given, so we're ready to go to what we're trying to prove. So here's our proof, and that's going to be our very last step. So we need to figure out how to get from this given statement to prove that this is, which means we need to have three parts. So right now I know AD is parallel to CE, and then BD is congruent to CB, and those are marked. So looking at this, is there anything else that we can tell? And I know that I'm asking you at home and expecting you to answer it, but if you look at it, you also have vertical angles here. So on step 3, I can say that angle ABD is congruent to angle EBD because they are vertical angles. Okay, so right now I have a side and I have an angle. So I need to find a third part. But the very important thing that we're missing is that AD is parallel to EC. So here I can draw in my arrows to show that they're parallel. And now, since I have these parallel lines, I have this transversal right here. So since I have this transversal here or this transversal here, I can say that alternate interior angles are congruent. So I can say that angle D is going to be congruent to angle C because of alternate interior angles. So on 4, I have angle D is congruent to angle C because of alternate interior angles. So now, do we have enough information? So you have to have three parts. You either have to have three sides are congruent, you have to have your side angle side, which is two sides and an angle side angle, which is your side in between two congruent angles, or your angle angle side. So let's just name them. Here's an angle, here's a side, here's an angle. So I'm going to write that angle, side, angle. Let's go over here. I have an angle, I have a side, and I have an angle. So I have an angle, side, angle. So they match up. So these two triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. So now you just say triangle ABD is congruent to triangle EBC. And that's how we're going to be writing our proofs. We're going to be working on these, and you're going to kind of do your direction. You're going to go from your given, and you're going to find the way to get to your proof. And as of right now, we're ending with triangle such and such is congruent to another triangle by one of the 4 methods we've learned in class. Now come Tuesday, we're going to be throwing in something in there called CPCTC, which means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And that's when we're going to prove our triangles to be congruent. And then we are going to prove that since triangles are congruent, therefore the sides are congruent and the angles are congruent. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you don't have it, you have your 4.2 worksheet. I told you to leave 14 and 15 blank. But right now, for your assignment, when you're going to come into class tomorrow, you're going to work on number 14. So if you need to, pause this if you don't have the worksheet. And then I want you to prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC. Alright, and y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.